Somewhere about 640 light years from where you are sitting, it is raining iron. Not water, not acid, molten iron. Droplets of liquid metal falling through a sky hot enough to boil stone. The planet is called WASP 76b, and astronomers confirmed it by watching its star flicker as the planet crossed in front of it. On its day side, the temperature climbs past 2,400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to vaporize the very metal that Earth is built from. That metal rises into the air, drifts to the colder side of the world, and falls back down as rain. And here is the part that should unsettle you. WASP 76b is not the exception. It is closer to the rule. The universe is full of worlds like this, real, catalogued, confirmed, and almost none of them would let you live for a single second. Earth is the strange one. Earth is the accident. Tonight, we are going to walk through the most terrifying planets ever discovered, one at a time, each worse than the last. And by the end, the quiet blue world under your feet is going to feel very, very fragile. When you picture a planet, you picture a place, ground you could stand on, a sky you could look up into, weather that might inconvenience you, but would not erase you. That picture is a lie your home planet told you. Earth sits inside a razor-thin band where water stays liquid, where the air does not cook you or freeze you or crush you flat. Step off that band in either direction, and the universe stops pretending to be gentle. We have now confirmed more than 5,500 planets beyond our own solar system. We can measure their size, their weight, the temperature of their air, sometimes even the chemistry of their clouds. And the more we find, the clearer one pattern becomes. Most planets are not places. They are furnaces, pressure cookers, frozen tombs, worlds so strange that the words we use for weather stop meaning anything at all. What follows are real ones. Every number is measured, and they get worse as we go. And you do not even have to leave our own solar system to find the first one. Look at Venus. It is almost exactly the same size as Earth, made of the same rock, formed at the same time, right next door. For a long time, people imagined it as a warm, tropical sister world hiding beneath its clouds. Then we started sending probes. On the surface of Venus, the temperature holds steady at around 465 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead, and it is that hot everywhere, day and night, pole and equator, because a runaway greenhouse atmosphere has sealed the heat in like a lid welded shut. The air itself would kill you before the heat did. The pressure at the surface is about 90 times what you feel right now, the same crushing weight you would find nearly a kilometer beneath the ocean. And far above, the clouds are not made of water. They are made of sulfuric acid. But here is the part that should truly chill you. Venus may once have had oceans. Billions of years ago, it may have looked a great deal like Earth. And then something tipped. The greenhouse ran away. The water boiled off into the sky, and the entire planet slowly cooked itself into the hell it is today. Earth's twin is not a warning about somewhere far away. It is a preview, and it is only the closest one. Now leave the solar system, and it only grows stranger. Start with the one that looks like home. From a distance, HD 189,733 Bi is a deep, brilliant cobalt blue. The same blue you would recognize instantly from a photograph of Earth taken from space. It lies about 63 light years away, close enough that it has become one of the best studied planets outside our system. And that blue is the trap. On Earth, blue means ocean. Blue means water and life and safety. On HD 189,733b, that color does not come from water at all. It comes from clouds of silicate, clouds of glass. The atmosphere is laced with countless tiny particles of molten glass, and the whole planet is torn by winds that reach nearly 9,000 kilometers per hour. That is 7 times the speed of sound. So the glass does not drift down softly. It is driven sideways, a permanent horizontal storm of molten shards moving fast enough to strip the skin from anything they touch. The most Earth-like color in this entire video belongs to a world where it rains glass, sideways, forever, and that is the gentle one. Now go back to where we started. WASP 76, B 640 light years away, is what astronomers call an ultra-hot Jupiter, a giant planet orbiting so close to its star that it has become tidally locked. One face burns in eternal daylight. The other is trapped in permanent night. On the day side, that 2,400-degree heat does something almost unimaginable. It does not just melt iron. It tears the metal apart and lifts it into the sky as vapor. Then the savage winds drag that iron vapor around to the night side, where it is merely blazing hot instead of instantly lethal. And in that relative cool, the iron condenses back into liquid and it falls. Astronomers actually caught this happening in 2020. They watched the chemical fingerprint of iron vanish at the evening edge of the planet and reappear at the morning edge. They watched, from 600 light years away, a world rain metal stand there, if there were anywhere to stand, and the sky itself would bleed the same iron that makes up the core of your own planet. But at least WASP 76b has some kind of surface, somewhere far below the storms. The next world barely does. K2-141b is a rocky planet, roughly the size of Earth, and that is where the resemblance ends. It orbits its star so closely that a single year, one full trip around its sun, lasts only about 7 hours. It is tidally locked, and its day side faces a star so near that it fills a third of the sky. The temperature there climbs past 3,000 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to boil not water, not metal, but rock itself. So this planet has an atmosphere made of vaporized stone. Its air is rock, and 2/3 of its surface is not solid ground at all. It is a magma ocean, an ocean of molten rock estimated to be around 100 kilometers deep. Winds of vaporized stone scream across that sea at speeds over 5,000 kilometers per hour. And when that rock vapor drifts to the frozen night side, it condenses and falls back down as rain, a rain of rocks into a sea of lava. No shoreline, no solid place to stand, just molten rock below, stone vapor above, and a storm that has never once stopped. And we are still not at the worst of it. HD 80,606b breaks a different rule. Everything so far has been hell because it sits close to its star and stays there. This world is hell because it cannot decide where it wants to be. It is a giant planet locked into one of the most extreme, most stretched out orbits ever discovered. An ellipse so severe that it swings far out into the cold, then plunges in toward its star and back out again. When it is far away, the planet is relatively calm. Then, over the span of about 6 hours, it whips through its closest approach, and in those 6 hours, its temperature erupts from around 500 degrees Celsius to more than 1,200. Picture that. The entire globe heating by 700 degrees in less time than you spend asleep. That violent, sudden heating triggers storms that explode outward at supersonic speed, shock waves rolling across the whole planet as its atmosphere is flash cooked. HD 80,606b spends its entire existence being seared, hurled back into the dark, and seared again. An endless cycle of burning and freezing that nothing could ever survive. But at least you would see it coming. The next world, you would never see at all. There is a planet out there that is blacker than coal, blacker than the blackest paint human beings have ever managed to make. It is called TRES-2b, about 640 light years away. and it reflects less than 1% of the light that reaches it. Shine a light at it, and it simply drinks it. If you were floating beside it, you would not see a globe hanging in space. You would see a hole cut out of the stars, an absence, a place where the universe just stops. We still do not fully understand why it is so dark. Its atmosphere may be filled with light-swallowing chemicals, vaporized sodium, gaseous metals that absorb almost every wavelength that hits them. But here's the detail that turns it from strange into a nightmare. TRES, 2b, is not cold. It is scorching. Well over 1,000 degrees Celsius. So hot that it glows faintly on its own. Not with reflected light, with heat. A world darker than anything you have ever seen, radiating a dull, dim red from its own furnace. It is the closest thing the real universe has to a dying ember, floating alone in the dark. And it is real. We found it. Which brings us to the worst one of all. Because the most terrifying planets are not the ones that would kill you. They are the ones that quietly tell you what is coming. In 1992, before we had confirmed a single planet around any normal, living star like our sun, astronomers found the very first exoplanets ever discovered. And they did not find them circling a healthy star. They found them orbiting a corpse. The object is called PSR B1257+12. It is a pulsar, the collapsed city-sized core left behind after a massive star died in a supernova. It is so dense that a single spoonful of it would weigh billions of tons, and it spins hundreds of times every second, sweeping beams of lethal radiation across space like a lighthouse of death. And around this dead thing, at least 3 planets still orbit. We have even given them names: Draugr, Poltergeist, and Phobator, named after ghosts and nightmares. Think about what those worlds actually are. They are bathed constantly in enough radiation to sterilize anything, sleeting with particles that would tear apart any atmosphere and any chemistry that ever tried to become life. They circle a star that is already dead, a star that already exploded, a star that already destroyed whatever these planets used to be. The first planets humanity ever found beyond our own were ghosts orbiting a grave. And that is the quiet horror hiding underneath every world in this video. A star like our sun does not last forever. One day, billions of years from now, ours will die too. It will swell and burn the earth to a blackened cinder and then collapse into a dim, cooling husk. And the planets that survive will keep circling that husk in the dark, silent, frozen, dead, exactly the way Draugr and Poltergeist and Phobator circle theirs right now. We are not looking at alien nightmares. We are looking at the future. So here is where all of this leaves you. Think about the tour you just took. A sister planet next door that cooked itself alive. A blue world where it rains glass. Sideways, at 7 times the speed of sound. A sky that bleeds molten iron. An ocean of magma 100 kilometers deep, under an atmosphere made of vaporized stone. A world that heats 700 degrees in 6 hours and never stops. A planet so dark, it swallows the stars around it. And 3 dead worlds still circling the corpse of a star that already killed them. Every one of those is real. Every one of those is out there right now, turning in the dark, exactly as described. We have found more than 5,500 worlds. And in all of that searching across all of those planets, we have not found one single other place where you could stand outside, breathe the air, and simply be alive. Not one. The default state of a planet in this universe is not life. It is a furnace, or a tomb, or a hole in the dark. Earth is not the normal one. Earth is the impossible one. The freak accident, the razor-thin exception, the single quiet blue world in an entire catalog of hells. Right now, outside your window, the air is the right temperature. It is not raining metal. The ground is not molten. and the sky is not bleeding radiation. That is not normal. That is a gift so rare that in all the universe, we have found nothing else remotely like it. And Venus already proved how fast a world just like this one can tip over the edge. The most terrifying planets are not out there in the dark. The most terrifying thought is how easily this one could have been among them, and how briefly it will stay the way it is. The universe is patient. The dark is patient. It has swallowed worlds beyond counting, and it is in no hurry at all. If you want to keep staring into it with us, subscribe. We will be here in the cold, finding the next one.